Welcome to the Nexus of Adventure, where stories transcend the page, a place where heroes and villains clash. This is Break, Battle, and Roll. Welcome back. It's once again time to break, battle, and roll. I am your barkeep, your storyteller, your dungeon master. My name is Aaron Rollins, and I'm here once again with my three illustrious adventurers, beginning with Chad Stafford.
Hello, I'm Timothy Biscuit, the Kenku with the power of speech, whose life is unfortunately a beach.
Janelle Wilkie.
Hi, I'm Janelle, playing Flowerkraut, the beach Baba Yaga who found two furries washed up on her beach.
I'm a feathery, thank you.
Oh yeah, sorry.
And Dustin Blushmit.
Hi, I'm Sherman Jeopard, and I don't have a rhyme, but I'm just happy to be here, and my tail's a wagon.
And I have to make an amendment to Aaron's introduction. He is the dungeon daddy.
Oh, no.
We're not starting that this early. That has to happen naturally, okay?
That's for the after show.
Oh, boy. Anyway, on our last break, battle, and roll, we followed Flowerkraut, the longtime resident warlock of Adrystia, as she set out in search of destiny washing upon her shore, at least according to her patron. There she found the unconscious form of dogfolk paladin and member of the Protectors of Archipeldian Liberties, Sherman Jeopard. The two unfamiliar fey creatures observing the wreckage of the brindled ballast mistake Flowerkraut as being one of the quote-unquote hags that they seemingly report to.
Happens all the time.
After instructing them to scurry off to the others, Flowerkraut revives Sherman and helps him slightly recover thanks to one of her signature dead fish mixtures. Amid their introductions to each other, the sounds of torturous laughter further down the beach cuts them off. They hustle to the scene where they find Timothy Biscuit, the Kenku with his own voice, being tickled and agonized by a set of three troublesome boggles. Flowerkraut and Sherman scare off the little fey offenders and free the bard from the wooden post he was tied to. Their conversation is once again interrupted as the original two Fae, Seslik and Modra, return with the boggles in tow, knowing full well that they were tricked by Flowerkraut. Confused whether to actually call her a hag or not, they attack, but find resistance in the form of her new friends, Timothy and Sherman. Together, the three of them dispatch the Fae creatures, but find themselves weak after the night's long string of events. Flowerkraut invites the two of them to return to her cave, where she can patch them up, but as they make their way along the dark beach, the sky explodes above them into green and purple magic, and they can hear the bellowing incantations of hags on Adrystia. And that is where we left off.
So, I mean, that's real pretty and all, but I'm assuming that's not normal? Like, are those your neighbors?
Is that a party going on? I've never seen fireworks before.
That's not a typical feature of the island.
The swirling clouds can be seen high up in the sky and actually on the other side of the cliffs that you guys face. You're on the beach of Adrystia, which further down is where Flowerkraut's cave is. But as I had mentioned before, the island is shaped like a crescent. And so inside, like that inner bay is seemingly where all of this is coming from. You guys are on the outside perimeter of the island right now.
Aaron, can I do an insight or a nature check to see if anything's like this has happened before, or if I know what might be causing this?
Give me an Arcana check.
Arcana. Okay. Oh, bots. That's a 2 plus a 3. 5.
All right. Wow, you've never seen anything like this. You know that there's some magic afoot here on Adrystia, but you have no idea what exactly is trying to be accomplished through it.
Got it. What the hell is that? We better scurry off to my cave. And wait, is my cave on the way over there? Like, is my cave in the middle of the island?
Your cave is kind of like down towards one of the tips of the crescent. and on the outside shores. So you mostly hang out on the beach, whether it's hanging with the vacationers or haunting it. And the
or your squid friend, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yes,
yeah,
Brandon. But the bay is also used by some people who come to Adrystia to vacation, and that's usually where they would leave their ships because of the calm waters in the cove. So in order to get to the bay, you would have to go all the way down the beach and actually pass up your cave and then round the cliffs to get into where the crescent begins to bend back. So yeah, your cave is definitely on the way.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, maybe we should pop by my cave, grab some supplies on the way over to see what the hell's going on.
Do you have any, like, dried fish skins in there? Because that would really be a treat.
I do. Oh yeah, I meal prep all the time. I've got you.
Oh, that's fantastic. Sherman still being very badly wounded. As they walk, he is going to periodically lay on tongue himself for a total of 5 points over the duration of the walk.
All right, so Sherman is lapping at his wounds, and it's actually, for the first time ever in all of dog history, effective.
Yeah, right? You know, they told me I shouldn't do this, so I became a devout person, and now suddenly I can do it, and it's a good thing to do.
Okay, so you guys are heading down the beach, and you keep hearing this language bellowing out up into the sky, and it's some kind of incantation that is being spoken by multiple voices. Timothy, you can see just fine in the dead of night because there's lightning every 2 seconds.
Sweet.
This is a very active magical vortex above Adrystia, and as you are approaching Flowerkraut's cave, the ground beneath you actually begins to quake a little bit. Flowerkraut, the wind chimes outside of your cave are shaking, and they're making lots of noise.
All right, I had a feeling that those might be in a little bit of trouble, so Flowerkraut takes them down and pulls out a little kind of totem type thing from the center of each one, and just puts them in her little satchel, her side satchel.
Okay. So you guys go into the cave, and there you guys see this little dwelling. Actually, Flowerkraut, why don't you describe the dwelling to Timothy and Sherman?
Oh, yeah. We got some... It's pretty cave chic, you know? We got some nice seaweed curtains along the walls. Let's see. We got plenty of bones that are kind of almost making giant... not wind chimes, but kind of decorative little spinny thing. You know, in resort hotels, you get kind of those big things that are hanging from the top. Yeah, Flowerkraut has that, but with bones.
Yeah, the things that spin with the wind, but they kind of create a visual effect or something.
Oh yeah, it's some lovely art. Flowerkraut's really into art, bone art.
It's
and then she's got
beautiful.
a wall with books and lots of sea creatures kept in jars, and just little bits and bobs she's found along the way. Yeah, and a little drawer with treasures she may have pilfered off of some of the spring breakers.
Sherman, I believe she said that was art. I'm not sure she would want you eating it.
How did you know? How are you? Sherman stares down Timothy and it's are you some sort of brain connection? Like one of those people that connect to your brain?
Well, I feel like I connect with you on maybe a spiritual level. I feel like we have a kinship growing between us.
Sherman's not paying attention. He's looking back at the bones again.
Oh, there he goes.
Hey, Sherman, Flowerkraut points to a rack kind of towards the back of the cave where she has her big cauldron there and basically all of her dried foods and everything. So she has some dried fish skins kind of drying. You can take some of those. Timothy, or would those be to your liking?
You know, I'm not.
Do you prefer the live thing? I have that too.
You know, I think I'm okay at the moment, even though I have been adrift for a while and then strung up on a beach in the middle of nowhere and then attacked by some crabs. So, I don't know. I guess my stomach just hasn't quite settled on anything it's particularly fond of yet.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's fair. Well, I'll just grab one more, and if you get hungry or peckish, sorry, I know I shouldn't say that. That's a little bit insensitive. But if you're feeling hungry later, I'll just save one in my little pack here, and just let me know, and I'll go ahead and fetch it out for you, and then it'll be a good thing, and you can tell me that I did a good job. Okay, and then I just stuffed my face with two to three cod skins, and I put one in my pack for Timothy later.
There's just like these shiny scales just exploding all over Sherman's mouth like glitter as he's chewing on the skin.
Can I do a perception check to see if there's anything that might be of the bread or cracker or crumb variety?
Go for it.
16? A 16 for crumb finding?
So you're looking around, but it doesn't look like Flowerkraut has any kind of oven or way to bake bread. Everything seems to be very natural around
So
here.
tragic.
Quite natch. I've got some seaweed crackers if you like.
Timothy's stomach is rumbling, like aggressively loud. You know?
It's just dried seaweed, essentially.
Just hanging seaweed. Just snaps them off.
It's like the stuff that gets sold at like very high-end grocery stores for like a lot of money, but really all you do is like hang a piece of dead, like dried seaweed. Yeah, you just hang it.
Edible drapes. I never would have thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean I can just kelp myself to these? And Sherman starts gnawing on the drapes.
Okay, those are decorative seaweed only. No, you can't eat them.
Oh,
That's the ornamental kind.
Is this like those decorative pillows you're not allowed to use? We don't even have pillows where I'm from, so I wouldn't even know if what would be decorative if I saw it.
Yeah, that's the ornamental seaweed. The edible seaweed is next to the cod skins.
I'm so sorry.
Just as you guys are discussing the edible drapes, the cave vibrates and shakes with a loud boom, and little bits of rock and dust fall from above.
Well, fuck. Okay, I think we're going to need to make haste here. All right. What does everybody need? I have only 2 potions, right? And one that I gave to Sherman already.
Correct.
Okay, I think I might need to down my other one because I'm at 6 hit points.
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and use one of my slots then to cure my wounds, just because if we're going into the unknown, it might be good for me to be able to take more than one hit.
I'm currently at half hit points, so I don't know if there's anything else, if you might have any spare health potions lying around. Otherwise, I can use my last slot for...
How much are you down?
So my max is 15. I'm currently at 7.
Oh, okay. So Sherman's like, oh, look at the sight of you. Here, just hold on real still, okay? And Sherman just starts licking his face and his feathers and stuff.
Okay.
And just,
this is new.
Just trust the process, okay? You're gonna feel so much better.
This sort of thing is not new to this cave.
I'm gonna put 4 lay on tongue points on you so you can heal yourself 4, and I'm just gonna save 1 for emergency later.
That's perfect. Thank you.
How do I do a potion?
It's 2d4 plus 2, and that's how many hit points you recover after drinking it.
Cool.
So I'll use my one of my spell slots for cure wounds. So that's a d8 plus 2. All right, so that's 6. Okay. All right, cool. I'm feeling a little better. This is great. All right, and Sherman's just like walking on furniture that he probably shouldn't be on.
What did Sherman get back?
6. So I'm at 16 and 22.
Nice.
Flowerkraut got +7, so she's at 13.
All right. Timothy, you healed. What? How many points?
I am at
Timothy?
11 out of a total of 15.
All right. Feeling a little bit better.
Feeling better. Don't like telling you the numbers because I feel like you're gonna use that knowledge.
Well, what you don't realize is I'm looking at your character sheets right now.
Oh God, he really is the storyteller.
Ah,
Does anybody else feel that dreaded sense of foreboding as if something's looking down upon us?
Oh, I've had enough boating for one day.
I feel lightly violated.
Yeah, like someone just knows everything about you in some sort of
Yeah.
weird numerical order, even though you've never associated your life in that manner.
So it's been a long night. You're not feeling great, but you're not feeling awful. And it seems things aren't finished yet because the cave rumbles again and more dust comes falling from the ceiling. Flowerkraut, you've never known this island to be volcanic or have quakes at all like this in all the years that you've lived here. So you can only assume that there's something related to what's happening in the bay.
Oh yeah, this doesn't feel good to me. Flowerkraut's a little bit worried about her home, and she's thinking she might need to grab her favorite things and go out and see what's going on.
Okay, so you guys grab whatever you need and head back out of Flowerkraut's cave back onto the beach. The lightning in the sky is continuing to keep everything very visible, but one thing you notice, Flower, being on this beach there as many years as you have, the tide has just rolled in quite a bit, and this is unusual. You look down and see that the water rushes up and retreats once again, leaving behind a bunch of dead fish.
Oh,
That's
good. I need
Ominous.
some more ingredients for my potions.
You run over to one of the dead fish and lean down, and it is covered in some black substance.
Is it covered with goo?
Some goo.
Oh no! All these fish are covered in goo.
Just as you guys say that,
No.
you look over and there's a couple boggles
No!
running down the beach at you.
I hate them.
They're actually splashing around in the water, and you can see that the oil, the black crap that they excrete, just spraying all over the place.
Yeah,
And one
they're
of them,
inking everything.
one of them comes running around, running at you guys with a lit torch. And as he's like flinging the torch around, you see that as it's catching the oil, it's creating like these little tiny sparks and little balls of fire that just immediately go out when they hit the ground. And he looks incredibly excited to experiment with this.
Oh crap, Sherman, didn't you say something about a squid that had oil on it and it was sending fireballs, or there was a fireball that set it on fire?
Oh, I mean, I don't know exactly what happened to, what happened exactly since I was flung so far, but there was a big ol', I guess it's some sort of sea monster that flung me over here onto the beach, and it was spewing, this black, oily substance all over the place. It was a real mess.
It looked like this stuff.
Kinda.
So as the boggles are charging you guys, it's time to break battle and roll initiative. There's four boggles. There's the three boggles that you guys
No,
saw
you already
dancing
said
around.
3. You have to stick with it. You said 3.
The fourth one is the one that has the torch.
Nat 20 on initiative, which
Wow.
is interesting.
Crap.
I got a 2 for my initiative.
Yay, I go before you. I got a 6.
Okay.
Freaking hate these things.
Timothy's on high alert for them.
With the nat 20, what does that make your initiative?
23.
Hey, big spender.
And then Flower, does that mean you're at a 2, or do you have a bonus to...
Oh, what bonus do I look at? Oh, 0. Yeah, I got a big old 0 bonus.
That'll be it.
High roller.
Flowers at a 2. Sherman, you're at a what?
6.
6.
Yep. That's
All right.
That's 6 plus 0, by the way.
Big initiative bonuses going on around here.
Oh yeah.
Boggles. All right. Timothy, you are first.
Good for me. I'm hesitating to cast any spells right now because I only have one left, and I want to save that for whatever fireworks show's going on over there.
So let me paint the picture for you just a little bit here.
Paint it beautifully, you artisan. Paint my picture, Dungeon Daddy.
Oh, shut up.
I said it has to happen naturally.
Shh, let it happen. Just let it happen. Okay, so there are 3 boggles in the water, and they are the ones that are basically inking all over the place. They're about, I'd say, 20 feet from where you guys have come out of the cave. The 4th boggle is running down the beach. He's not in the water. He's got a torch, and he's about 40 feet from you. So to kind of give you an idea as to where location-wise everyone is, that's how we're starting.
Okay. I don't want to get close to these things because I know what's going to happen. So I am going to flick out some daggers, which I've used before. They've been etched to kind of look like my own feathers. And so you see me flick a couple of daggers out, and I'm going to attempt to throw one at whichever boggle is closest to me.
Okay, so one of the guys in the water?
Sure. I mean, or maybe would I be able to hit the one that's running at us with a torch?
Yeah, can you bonk that torch out of its hand so it sets like the oil on fire?
So the
Ooh.
short range on a dagger is 20 feet.
Correct.
And the long range is 60. So if you are throwing at somebody who's 40 feet from you, you're going to be rolling it with disadvantage.
Okay, so I would be rolling disadvantage then.
You can move towards him and then throw, if that's what you want to do.
Get closer.
Sure. Let's do it.
Okay.
I take a heavy sigh as I flick these daggers out.
How much of that distance do you close between you and Mr. Boggle Torch?
Just close enough to not have to roll with disadvantage?
Okay. Okay. So you close in 20 feet.
Cool. Here we
And
go.
so he's 20 feet from you, and you are chucking a dagger.
I'm going to be
Give me
so
a-
upset if I did all this for nothing because I've not had the greatest of luck with dagger throwing. Mutter futter. That's a 9.
Okay, one dagger flies past him.
Okay.
He doesn't even notice the dagger. He's still like enamored with the torch, and you see him like flick his little fingers with like oil on it at the torch, and it just kind of makes a little flare. He's like, so doesn't even see the dagger
Just
fly
so
past him.
distracted by how hideous these things are.
Flowerkraut likes them.
Do you want to throw a second one as a bonus action?
Yeah, I don't think I wrote down how many daggers I actually have, but I'm sure they're not infinite.
I assume you pulled.
Yes, I kept the one well, he tried to murder me with my own dagger, so I'm pretty sure I took it back.
What was his name? Was it Francine?
It was
Or
Francis.
something?
I named him Francis.
Francis.
Francis!
So yeah,
Francine.
Francis. You hit Francis with that dagger. He pulled it out of his own butt and tried to stab you with it, or something like that. So, all right. So you took the Francis dagger back.
Yeah, that was the one I threw. It was a little bit slick still, so I didn't quite get my aim right.
I think you've got 2 of these daggers.
I think that's fair.
Go ahead and chuck the other one.
Oh, no! How did I roll another 9? Come on, man.
Okay.
Well, you see Timothy run forward and throw both of his daggers with just the utmost of confidence as both of them just whiz past him. I turn back to my friends and I'm like, well, I'm out of everything.
So you've used 20 feet of movement. You have 10 feet of movement technically left in your turn, because you don't have to use all your movement at one time. You can run in, throw, and run back if you want.
I say that as I walk past, and I'm just like, well, that was all I had.
Timothy, get your biscuit over here.
Okay, moving down to initiative 14, the Boggles. The 3 in the water come splashing up at you guys. They're able to get up onto the shore, but because the water was, they had to kind of like wade through it as they're like, squirting oil all over the place and having a time of their life. They get just about, I don't know, 5-10 feet from you guys, and all three of them just like spray at both. Let's see here. We're gonna see who the three are trying to coat.
Oh, delightful.
All right. The first one is gonna spray Sherman.
Rude.
The second one's spraying Sherman.
Oh, God.
And the third one is spraying Flowerkraut. Okay, here we go.
Excretions.
So the two for Sherman. The first one, you probably are fast enough to raise your shield because they definitely did not hit you with that.
Oh yeah.
The second one rolled a 18 with its oil.
That's my AC, man.
Okay, so it hits you with the oil. You're coated. You need to make a dexterity saving throw to see if you can stay on your feet because it's slick.
Oh, I'm so good at those. That's a 14.
Okay, so you're still on your feet. You're like trying to keep your balance. And the reason why this attack had to roll to hit you and then it does a save is because this is kind of like a ongoing effect.
It's a goo.
Exactly. So each turn you're gonna have to make, if you want to move from where you are, you're gonna have to make a dexterity saving throw.
Ah, gotcha.
All right. The one that's trying to coat Flower rolls a 14 to hit.
Curses.
Flowerkraut, make a dexterity saving throw.
All right, cool. All right, I've got a 4.
A 4.
A good old 4.
So, Flowerkraut, you didn't think it was possible to slip on sand, but
Oh,
you just
God.
slipped on sand.
Some slip and slide action. This normally happens when the guys come out all oiled up, Ugh.
So you are on your butt. You're prone right now.
Great.
And we are going to go to the guy with the torch. He
Fuck.
He basically accumulates a big ball of guck in his hand, lights it on fire, and lobs it at you guys. I'm gonna roll to see who he's lobbing it at. Okay, he's lobbing it at Timothy.
Of course he is. Why wouldn't he?
Timothy's the closest to him. This is actually good.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
This is actually good for you guys because when it hits, it has a
Oh,
little...
it's good for them. Good for them. Yes, so good. It's
It has
great.
a little bit of a radius effect, so instead of hitting both Sherman and Flower, it's just going to hit Timothy.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, that's not a problem for anybody.
So, Timothy, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as this thing lobs near you.
Okay. All right. Please. That's a 15.
You jump out of the way of this thing. It does not do half damage on a success. You literally just get out of the way of this thing, and it, big slop of goo hits the ground and explodes into fire, but you sidestep it. Sherman, it is your turn.
All right, I feel like the slickness of my feet, so I'm gonna pull out a javelin, and the close range is 30 feet. So who's within 30 feet of me? Is Torch Guy within 30 feet?
The three that are about 10 feet away ahead of you that are in the edge of the water. The guy with the torch is 40 feet from you.
Of course he is.
He's further down the beach.
Well, I don't want to slip and fall. I'm feeling a little unsure on my feet right now, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw a javelin at one of the three that have been throwing goo.
Okay.
Ooh, that was so close. That's 25.
Wow.
Whoa, yeah. You absolutely hit one of them with the javelin. Go ahead and roll damage.
Alrighty. That's going to be 8 damage.
8 damage. Oh, man. So that one is really hurt. And it's... looks up at you with this just absolute glare. These things were having so much fun just messing with you guys, and then you had to get violent. So now...
Good luck coming over here with a big old stick in your hand, buddy.
Anything else, Sherman?
I'm gonna tell them to go play somewhere else.
As Sherman's standing there, like, keeping his balance just barely, just, I mean, even chucking that javelin, you had to kind of like counterweight yourself a little bit with your tail.
Yeah.
All right, Flower, it is your turn. You're on the ground.
Okay, cool. All right. So if I'm on the ground, like, is my only option to try and stand up, or or can I like cast sleep on them while I'm sitting on my ass?
So you can stand up. That takes half of your movement. So that'll take your 30 feet of movement down to 15 for the turn to stand up. But if you then want to move from where you are, since you are coated in slick oil, you will have to make a dexterity saving throw not to fall on your butt again.
Yeah, I'll just stand up. That's
Okay.
cool. All right.
You stand up.
I stand. All right, movement made. Okay. Let's see. Do we want to do a little bit of sleep action, or shall I just go straight for the blast?
What's the range on sleep?
90 feet.
Oh, dang.
If they fall asleep in the water, do they drown?
Don't put that on my conscience, Sherman.
No, they're just gonna float out to Flowerkraut's squid friend, Brandon. Brandon will just have more friends to hang out with.
Some toys for Brandon.
Brandon, help! Brandon!
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 Brandon, get your ass over here.
They're messing up your beach, Brandon!
Oh, what's going on out here, guys?
Fucking Brandon, help us.
Oh, those things look delicious.
I'll kick some your way, I promise. Just get over here. Okay, yeah, I think I'll try and cast sleep.
All right.
If I can make it happens in like a 20-foot sphere, so they can, like, I can kind of get the three that are together.
Yeah, so you would basically center this spell behind them so that the radius will
Get
reach
them,
but it
but
will
not
not
my
reach
buddies.
you guys. Yeah.
Sweet.
So, okay, go ahead and roll the 5d8s.
Oh my god, 5d8s?
Yes. So the way it works is that you roll 5d8s, and if you can beat the threshold of hit points that you're trying to put to sleep, that's who falls asleep, starting with the creature with the lowest hit points.
Okay, great. All right. 29.
Holy biscuits.
All of them fall asleep.
Some balls for Brandon.
That's fantastic! Wow! Great work, Flowerkraut! That's... Oh my gosh! Can you do that to me when I get the zoomies?
Of course.
These boggles lay down in the water there, and you see that the tide is starting to kind of like pull them back in. And they're just kind of slipping off of the sand and tumbling a little bit. One of them, like, is kind of getting stuck in the sand with the javelin. But the other two definitely are just kind of floating away.
Oh, Aaron, like the sound you made earlier is still just resonating in my head, and I keep chuckling to myself. the angry, like, like the fact that they were so happy and then it got pissed off. Flowerkraut likes them more for it.
So as these things start kind of drifting back, a massive shake hits you guys, and the whole island just reverberates. Behind you, a huge piece of the cliff breaks free and slams right over Flowerkraut's cave entrance.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no, that's your house!
Yeah, it is my house.
You see parts of the cliff begin to break a little bit, and you see essentially kind of like not really an avalanche, but just kind of almost like a landslide as some of the cliff collapses, and the tide is kind of moving its way up towards you guys. So it inches in about 5 more feet, but you see that it's kind of like coming in and flowing back, and as it's gotten stronger, it's going to be pushing these boggles even further out. We are back at the top of the list with Timothy's turn.
So all that's left is the one that's carrying the torch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, and he's 30 feet from you. He's 40 feet from the other two.
tell them my story. I
Oh,
unsheath
shit.
my rapier, and then I just charge towards this little goober.
Okay.
Just screaming and hollering.
Huh?
I've had
Say
just
hi?
about enough of you!
He's playing with the torch. He sees you running at him, and he's just like got this look of, huh? Go ahead and roll attack.
How does a 21 do?
Oh shit! Yeah, you stab him.
Finally.
Give him a good old stabby stab.
All right, and roll for damage. That's unfortunate. That's not a lot of damage. That is a 4.
All right, you stab him pretty good. He also seems a little bit pissed now.
Yeah, well,
He was
welcome,
having so much fun.
welcome to the state of being, friend. Yeah, no, exactly. I feel the same way. I use my mimicry. That's you. That's what you sound like.
Are you sure you don't have vicious mockery? Because that was savage.
You really gave it to him. Holy fuck, Timothy.
Okay, it's the Boggle's turn. He's so upset. He takes the torch and he just lights himself on fire and
What?
jumps at you, Timothy.
Holy
Oh,
frick.
God.
Oh, and he totally jumps right past you. And he's dancing around on fire. He takes another 5 fire damage.
I didn't know we were at Burning Man.
Oh, oh no.
And he's running, he's kind of like running circles, realizing that fire actually hurts. That is the end of his turn. It is Sherman's turn.
Can we just leave? Can we just... I think the situation has covered itself at this point.
Okay, if I go pull one of these javelins out of the guy before he gets lost out at sea, I guess I'll have to do a dex save in order to move still, right?
Yep.
Okay, well I'm gonna try to do that before he gets too far away and I lose one of my javelins. That's a 17.
Okay, yeah, you absolutely can move.
Okay. If I pull the javelin out of this guy, is he going to wake up?
You're not sure.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to pick up the javelin with him still on it and throw it at the... and throw him
He's
with the
gonna do
javelin
a bobble. He's gonna do
at the one that's on fire.
a boggle kebab.
Oh, man. Okay, so you run out to grab your javelin. Your feet go into the water. You need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, okay. 18.
Okay, this water ain't good. You're able to like get your feet out real fast.
Oh,
but you
yuck.
can definitely feel there's some kind of acidic quality to the water that's rushing in on the island.
Oh no, that's gonna be horrible for tourism.
Well, it also explains all of the dead fish everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's just not great. Can't use those for potions.
You take that javelin and you fling the boggle that's on the end of it at the flaming boggle.
Yes.
And hopefully make a kaboggle.
A kaboggle. Yes.
How far away?
So it's, let's see, I guess you're about 30 feet from the one.
Perfect.
So you're just trying to throw the boggle. Are you throwing the javelin itself?
I'm throwing the javelin with the boggle still attached.
Okay. Okay, go ahead and make a roll.
That's a 12.
Okay, that misses. However, the boggle on the end of your javelin, when the javelin hits the ground, it gets flung off and it like impacts on the dirt and it wakes up.
That's what I meant to do, guys. See, now he's over there. Flowerkraut, get him.
Oh,
It is Flower's turn.
cool. All right, these things are like pretty far from me right now, huh?
So the one that is dancing around on fire is 30 feet from you,
Cool.
and so is the one that just fell off of the javelin.
All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, my elderly blast has a pretty far range, so you know what? Yeah, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna hit Fireboy.
Okay.
Flowerkraut, no, the island's shaking enough as it is.
Yes. Off screen, I have decided that Flowerkraut's elderly blast is kind of like a biotic shockwave from Mass Effect.
Excellent.
So it just kind of like freight trains down, like bump, 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 bump.
Oh man, it makes me think of the what are those firebenders? The explosion guy that like goes pop 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 pop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Explosion
The
Man or whatever.
pyro.
Yes, I love it.
Okay. I add my charisma to it, which is the +5. Wait, so I do a d20 +5 as my start? Okay, sorry. I really do need to write this down for future reference. Okay. So I rolled I rolled a 15 plus the 5, so we got a 20 right there.
You got a 20. Okay, my mind just went to Flowerkraut, turned around, bends over, pulls out her notes, and she's like, "Okay, how does this work?"
So like the first one's just a normal fart.
Wait, how's this work?
Calibrating.
Where's Garrus when you need him? I need to calibrate my cannon.
Flatulating. Okay, here we go.
Okay, D10
All right,
plus
you
3.
absolutely blast the fire. Oh, and of course, as you hit, he becomes a bonfire.
Oh. All right, shall I
Go
roll
ahead and
my
roll
dammies?
your, D10 plus 3.
Indeed. Okay, I got a nice juicy 7 plus 3, so 10.
Oh, he explodes.
Oh, wait.
I mean, I like them, but that. Oh well.
We're still
Byproduct.
cleaving farts, right? Does some of that fart get on the other guy?
Oh, the cleaving farts?
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
on fire. It exploded.
Well, like the bits of fire that explode off of the torch guy land on the other one, and he takes. Let's see here. How much overkill did we do here? This one was a little bit more beefy because he was the torch guy. So yeah, the one. Okay, so he's hurt real bad because javelin plus some fire, but he's not quite dead.
All right. See, I told you I meant to do that. That's great. Everything went according to plan.
That Boggle's just laying on the ground. And then all of a sudden a fiery ember hits him in the chest.
Yeah, it doesn't feel that good, does it?
Javelin fall asleep fire. He's so unhappy. He just wanted to have fun.
So at the end of Flower's turn, more quaking on the island, and the tide rolls in another 5 feet.
Whoa.
Sherman and Flowerkraut, the tide rolls in right under your guys' feet from where you're standing. You're on the edge.
Oh no,
crap.
I know
I
it's
need-
bad
I-
water.
Uh-oh.
I need both of you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right.
Ooh, that's 19, my dude.
Okay, Sherman, you're able to jump out of it, or at least endure the little bit of acid on your feet.
Oh yeah, my coat just wicks away moisture. It's really good. I'm very well insulated, so it's really good about that kind of thing.
I also got a 19 plus
Oh.
1.
Ooh,
So a 20.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
My coat of wrinkles also helped me wick away.
Oh, it's just, do you normally bathe in this water? Is that why?
Oh yeah, so you get the tinge of acid on your feet. Does Flowerkraut wear like shoes, or does she walk around?
She has like little foot wrap, kind of like let's see, they're like slippers almost, like little ninja slippers.
Nice. She's got
Got
Naruto
like-
shoes.
Yeah,
on.
she's just
Oh,
getting
yeah.
like exfoliation on her feet right now. It's fine.
Nice. Yeah, there you go. Your feet.
So yeah,
are
Just getting rid of some of the
I can
dead
feel it in
skin.
the fabric a little bit. Ah, my bunions.
So you can tell there's something wrong with the seawater on the shore here, as you as your feet sting a little bit, but you bounce out, and definitely can understand why there's things dying all over the place that are out at sea. It is Timothy's turn. So you've just got this boggle on the ground, laying on its back with a hole in it from a javelin, and it's slightly singed from the exploding boggle. It doesn't look very
Healthy?
It doesn't even. It doesn't look like it even has the energy to be pissed anymore.
Yeah, I can relate. Timothy just came to the realization that if things are dying in the water, he's gravely concerned for Brandon, but he has to put that thought aside for a moment.
I am so concerned for Brandon.
Oh no, Brandon! He's gonna be so upset though.
Well, I'm dying.
Do not
This
kill
hurts
Brandon.
a lot. It's like a big tickle.
Do not kill Brandon. Brandon, get the hell out of here.
If I were to use, and this is just for flavor, if I even end up hitting, but if I were to use my loot as like, say, a hammer type situation, do a El Kabong style, what would I do? Would that be an improvised weapon?
That's a good question. Yeah, it would probably be improvised weapon. It would give you, so like normally anyone who does damage with just like an unarmed attack would deal their strength modifier in damage if they hit. They just, you straight up do that. Unless you're a monk or you have a special ability to do more damage. I would say that with your loot, if you want to actually smack things with it, you would do a D4 plus your strength modifier in damage.
Okay.
And it would be a strength attack because your loot is definitely not a finesse weapon like your rapier is.
I have garbage strength. All right. Well, I just wanted to know for future flavor references if I really wanted to do it.
And you absolutely can flavor it up if you want to say, like I stab him with my rapier, toss him in the air, and then El Kabong, smack him with the loot.
That's what I did
flying,
last time. So that might be what we do this time. So I'm gonna go after this guy now.
Okay. He is actually prone, so you have advantage on this roll.
Oh, thank goodness, because I don't think a 12 would have done the job.
It would not have done the job.
Here we go again, friends. That's a 19, a little better.
There you go. All right.
Oh, you're going for the sacred 2 kebab technique.
Yes, they tell about it in the ages.
Us dog folk, we do like it when there's 1 meat and 2 stick.
Well, this one's for you, Sherman.
Aww.
That's a total of 5 damage.
All right. Give me some narrative on this death.
Let's see if we can make this little ball skip. And I stab it. I fling it off my sword. I grab my loot and I bat it into the ocean.
Awesome. So he floats away with the other 2 sleeping boggles. And
Please tell me you hit it with enough force that my javelin dislodged from him.
Oh, yeah, the javelin, he dislodged when he hit the ground with your javelin. So the javelin's just laying there stuck in the sand.
Oh, thank goodness.
So yeah, the boggles are gone. There's a burning torch just kind of sitting there on the beach.
So I'm still in the water, and I don't want Timothy to come in. Am I within grabbing range of his knives?
No, you'd have to move over to where Timothy was further down the beach with the torch guy.
I'm probably near them still, right?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can definitely find them.
So they're not in the water. Okay, good.
No, they're not.
Okay.
I'll grab Sherman's. I will grab your javelin and I will walk over and find my daggers and say, "Don't worry, I still believe in you."
Okay, great. So you pick up your weapons, the boggles float away, but the problem that persists is that the tide is rolling in, and it's going to ride all the way up to the cliff's edge. There's no way that you guys are going to be able to make it. Even if you ran down the beach further, the tide is continuing to rise and close you guys off.
I'm going to say, excuse me, Flowerkraut, but this is bad water, and I'm gonna pick her up and like throw her over my shoulder.
Okay. You pick up Flower. I assume that's not going to be a problem for big, beefy, strong boy
probably
Sherman
not.
Shepherd.
I consent to being picked up.
You are being rescued. Please do not try to resist.
Is this something that PAL, members say You are being rescued. Please do not resist.
Like Flowerkraut was earlier. She's like, how does this work? Sherman pulls out from his handbook. Now, how does this work?
Hold on. I'm supposed to read this to you when I pick you up.
I gotta get me a pamphlet.
Oh, yeah, I know. They kind of got all... we left... they're all in the water because the boat sunk. But anyway, my feet hurt. Let's get out of here.
So, here you guys are. The tide is catching up to you. And there's basically cliffs at your back. But as these quakes have been happening, you notice that more and more of the cliff side has kind of broken apart. There seems to be more of, not really a path, but maybe a easier method to get up this cliff, to get away from this acidic water that's, coming at your feet.
Oh, so you're saying we go over? Instead of going around, we can go try to climb this little cliff here. Why am I talking like this?
I'm like, we got Christopher Walken up in here.
Hey, you gotta go over instead of under.
All right, guys, do you all know how to climb? Because I think our safest bet is to climb these rocks to get away from all that bad goo water.
We are so busted right now. Oh, and now they're putting the tape up. Oh, they're saying out of order. Oh, you hate to see it.
Oh no.
All right, what are you guys doing?
We should definitely try to climb this cliff, right? I mean that seems like the despite all the danger, it seems like it's the safest bet.
Climbing is just the sadder version of flying, and I'm all about it.
So dramatic, Mr. Biscuits.
Yeah.
Sherman's got she's got Flower as a backpack, and Timothy, you're seconds away from the tide rolling over your delicate little feet.
Oh, the tides they are changing.
Yeah, I know. They're definitely not supposed to act like this. This is definitely quite strange.
All right, let's get climbing. Let's get out of here.
Okay, you guys start pulling yourself up onto like the broken bits of cliff. Moments before, when you guys had walked into Flower's cave, this cliff was almost sheer. Would have been very difficult, but now you're able to kind of hop a little parkour action, jump from platform to platform like you're in a video game. But still going to require you to roll an athletics check to see how well you guys can get up the side of this cliff.
Can I argue for acrobatics?
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
I will keep the athletics, thank you.
It's probably for the best you're carrying me because I'm ass at both of those things.
That's a 21 for my nimble little bird feet.
Oh, awesome. You actually feel like maybe there is hope for Kenku after all as you flutter your way up this cliff. Flower, let's see here. How much gear are you carrying on you? You got your satchel with some stuff in there.
Yeah, I got the satchel. Let's see. I got just like those little trinkets in there. I have the mortar and pestle.
Okay.
I think I put my book in there too, right? My
Yeah.
old.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, good. And then I think the last thing I have is just a dagger. It's on my side, and it's called Whalethorn. And yeah, that's it.
Oh.
Ooh,
I
all
can
right.
carry another 130 pounds without being encumbered, so I don't know where that puts out. I dare not ask a lady's weight.
You're under.
Well, with the weight, with what she's carrying, because Flower does have like a her own backpack. Well, she has her own like gear.
Oh yeah, how much is my gear?
You're gonna probably be rolling with disadvantage to make some of these jumps, Sherman.
Gotcha. Okay. Still probably better off.
Probably.
Okay. As we start climbing up the cliff, I look over and I'm like, "Sorry about your house. I'm sure we can move those rocks out of the way later, but
More of the cliff just falls onto the house as he's saying that.
Yeah, just like you see part of the cliff collapse, but only the part above her cave. It just crunches down.
oh,
Yeah, let's just not talk about that right now.
yeah, too soon." And I'll roll this first athletics check
Okay.
with a disadvantage. Oh no.
Ah, fuck.
Okay, with how nimble and,
Should
and
Timothy
jumpy
have
I'm being,
carried me?
Yes, can I please assist in some fashion?
What'd you roll?
I think you know, bud.
Oh, a 1.
I don't need to roll twice to know what I got.
Roll a d6, Sherman.
I have 4 to choose from. I got a 4.
You drop Flower off the side as you slip.
I revoke my consent!
All right, what are you doing, Timothy, as a reaction?
I pluck one of my feathers and I throw it at Flowerkraut and I cast Featherfall.
All right, awesome. I love that visual effect. It like hits her, and then all of a sudden she starts floating down. Flowerkraut, you slow as you're tumbling down towards the acidic water that is, quickly rushing in. And
I'm rolling in slow motion. Ah!
Oh, she's still going. Oh, she was saying I was dramatic.
Okay, but the nice thing is it's very easy for you to just reach out and grab the edge of the cliff and pull
She's
yourself
refusing
back
to.
up.
She's just plummeting so slowly. Flowerkraut, you have so much time. We understand this, but it still would be prudent to just still grab onto something at some point soon.
Oh, fine, I'll grab. I just wanted you to know how upset I am at you, Sherman.
I know. I know. I'm so sorry. I thought I was being helpful.
I trusted you! Okay, do I need to roll anything, or do I just grab?
So you grab hold, and the spell basically gives you the weightlessness in order to land or to pull yourself onto the cliff again. But then it dissipates. So now I need Sherman and Flowerkraut to make climbing checks. So either
And a friendship check.
yeah, that too. Actually, Sherman, you need to make a friendship saving throw.
That's charisma, right?
Sure.
Is all friendship based on charisma?
Yeah. Roll a charisma saving throw and see if you can, smooth this one out with Flowerkraut.
Oh my god! Are you fucking kidding me?
A 1?
I can't cast Featherfall on that, my good friend.
That is a friendship. That's a friendship saving throw. So at this point, I'm at Flowerkraut's mercy as to whether or not she likes me anymore.
Bad dog.
My tail is betwixt my legs. I feel all of the shame. Should I just let go of the cliff and fall into the vat below?
How about you help me off of this cliffside?
These puppy dog. Oh my gosh! Like Sherman tries to give puppy dog eyes, but it's just like this, like weird, like blank stare.
It's almost creepy instead.
like the horse. If anybody saw the episode of Adventure Time where there's the horse standing outside the window.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the one
man.
that was the Ice King horse, wasn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
It wasn't.
the only horse I remember
Baxter.
is James Baxter. That horse is really charismatic, though.
I wish to meet James Baxter one day.
I guess I'll roll my climbing check now, right?
So you're able to go down a couple steps and pull Flowerkraut up onto the platform, up onto like the ledge that you guys are on. But you two will need to make a climbing check to get up further. Timothy, you're fine. You're kind of just prancing along.
You're feeling awesome with that dope little feather throw.
If only I could throw my daggers that accurately.
You know what's funny is like after our last sesh, I actually wished like I had thought to have Flowerkraut pick up the feathers that the boggles were using on you to tickle you, so that I could make them into featherfall potions.
Ooh.
Oh.
How serendipitous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's awesome that you actually used it for that. So Flowerkraut definitely keeps that in mind for later.
Flowerkraut will remember this.
Yes, Flowerkraut remembers this.
Timothy, I need you to give you a good plucking.
Give me your moltings.
She also remembers that that Sherman just dropped her. So we've got some pros, some increased relationship points for Timothy, and
Well, to be fair, I think the first lesson PAL members learn is drop it.
Oh.
You'd think that, but it's just sit.
Oh,
okay.
Everybody sit.
They start things pretty simple.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my athletics now. That's okay.
oh no!
Oh no!
From
What
one
happened?
extreme to the other.
Nat 20.
Nat 20, so 26. Now can I just throw fucking Flowerkraut over the cliff?
Sure, if that's what you want to do, you freaking yeet. You
Like,
yeet her up.
Down to
I know.
eat.
Clings onto one rock, looks in Flowerkraut's eyes, and be like, "Do you still trust me?"
Not really. And then he yeets me.
Just strong enough so that you land at the top.
Yeah, so you get flung. You land amazingly, like perfect. Like the arch to the throw, he just arcs you up, and you just kind of land on your feet.
Land just perfectly on my feet.
I honestly look into Flowerkraut's eyes and I ask, "What was it like to fly?"
Timothy, if it weren't me plummeting like to my death, it was magical. That was pretty amazing.
Someday.
Like, I've never seen a creature more majestic than you were in that moment.
Sherman,
All right.
just as you fling Flowerkraut up, the cliff shakes and the ledge that you're standing on completely gives way. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Well, that's a 3, you guys.
No!
Oh my god!
It's been nice knowing you.
So Sherman yeets Flowerkraut up and then begins to fall himself as he's unable to get off of the ledge fast enough.
Remember me.
Can I go for the grab?
You can't grab me. You're too far away.
Oh.
You guys are so much further up above him.
Is there any way I could do an acrobatics check to, like, just jump down and attempt to... I'll take the damage if I have to, but I just want to jump down and try and, grab him by his hand.
Okay.
Maybe a rope, man.
I don't have that. At least I don't think I do.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Unless it washed up on the boat or something.
Could a rope get down to him fast enough?
If you roll a high enough acrobatics check, you could potentially get a rope down to him fast enough.
Or I could tie a rope to me or Flowerkraut, and then one of us could do the dive. Let's make this real epic. I'm going to roll an acrobatics check regardless, so here we go.
Go for it.
How's a 10 do you, bud?
All right, so you dive with the rope. And is it your rope or is it Flower's rope?
I don't... It's the seaweed. It's the seaweed curtains. I'm sorry, Flowerkraut. I was hungrier than I wanted to admit, and I just took the whole dang thing.
The ornamental seaweed. Flowerkraut is questioning her companions. Like, her trust in these companions.
As Sherman's falling, he's like, "Forward thinking, Timothy."
You dive down holding on to the seaweed curtains that you pilfered from her cave. And unfortunately, it snaps
No!
under your weight.
Ah,
So you both
I'm
are going to take some
countless.
fall damage. However, Timothy, you're not falling all the way down to the bottom of the cliff. You're just like falling down to the ledge, like right next to where Sherman fell.
Who knew this cliff was going to be our worst adversary?
Okay, Timothy, you take 3 falling damage, and Sherman, you take 11 as you hit the bottom.
oh,
The tide rolls in. Make a Constitution saving throw.
my ribs. All of my ribs hurt so bad. That's a 19.
Okay, you're able to brush off the sting. The acid doesn't affect you, and you're able to get yourself up back onto the cliff again. But yeah, you're a bit hurt.
Sherman's laying in the water, and he's like, "At least I saved my new friend."
Aww.
Sherman, you're okay, buddy. Just get back up. You're still a good dog. Even good dogs have bad days.
Can someone hear that? I think I hear him calling. Tretherion, is that you? Am I being given a second chance?
Yes, you're getting a second chance.
Oh, I must continue. I must go on and climb this cliff.
Yes, get up here and prove yourself to me a trustworthy and awesome pal.
I think you have something in your throat. God.
Would I know what this deity that he's calling out to would look like?
You're not sure what he looks like, but you have plenty of voices in your repertoire of what you heard before, so you could, I don't know, if you were going to try to say something from the cliff's edge.
Yes.
Sherman, you are a good boy.
I hate to tell y'all this, but I rolled an 8 on that athletics check.
Oh,
You're not falling, you're just like standing on the ledge. You know, you like basically pulled yourself onto the cliff, but you haven't made any progress.
It's the concussion.
Pretty much, you're just standing there recovering from the fall.
Oh,
Encourage
hey.
him more, Timothy.
I'm all out of spells. I can't do anything. I'm useless now.
Just the voice.
You're not useless. You can still inspire the.
I actually can't. I ran out of all of that stuff.
No, just by being you, man. Just. Actually, I mean, I don't really know you that well, but I'm just assuming that you're not a rude jerk. I guess.
Assuming you're not a piece of crap.
So Timothy had dived off trying to use the seaweed as a rope. It didn't work out too well, but Flowerkraut, you do have
It is still quite delicious, though.
a bundle of rope, like attached to your satchel.
Yeah, I
standing
has rope.
You're standing at the top of the cliff.
Yeah. And after face palming at seeing all of this happen, I'm like, okay, all right, hold on just a sec. Can I tie my rope to like a rock or something just for extra fortitude?
Yeah, you find a place to tie it off. You find like a tree that's jutting out of the cliff that's nice and solid.
I look at my ruined house and I look at my ruined boys and I sigh and then I heave the rope over the cliff.
Okay. All right. So, and if you guys are gonna make a climbing check with the rope's assistance, you can roll with advantage.
I don't need it. That's a 22.
All right,
Ooh.
let's try using the rope. That's better. That's a 19.
Okay. You guys pull yourselves up to the top of these cliffs on the Adrystian Bay. Well, you can now see the Adrystia Bay on the other side. There's these houses, or like these huts, Flowerkraut, that you have known up on the top of this cliff that a lot of the people that come here will stay in. But as you get up here, you see that this magical storm has essentially just like blown them over, or like the shaking has kind of ruined the foundation of these huts, and now they're just kind of like either toppled over, or you just see walls, like pieces of walls remain. The Fey magic storm lights up the entire Adrystian Bay, even in the dead of night. You see a purple, massive monstrosity, its head protruding at the bay's entrance. Sherman, you would recognize this to be the huge tentacle beast or creature that you had been attacked by while on the brindled ballast. And Flowerkraut, this must be the Fracken that Sezlik and Mojer were speaking of.
Yeah.
So far down, you guys are way up on these cliffs. You can see the bay ahead of you. You can see even the cliffs that are opposite the bay on the far, far side. Incantations continue thundering across the island. And Flowerkraut, while you can't understand the words, you feel pretty confident that you're hearing Sylvan, the language of the Fae.
Oh.
You peer over the cliff's edge, as you guys are, hustling through, and you see them. You see 4 of them, in fact. A hag with seaweed for hair stands atop one of the Fracken's raised tentacles. One with white hair and green skin, she's standing across on the bay. It almost looks like, she's standing on top of the water. There's also one that has red skin and a head sporting some gnarled horns that appears to be floating over the water. Some kind of levitation or something. And then, specifically distanced from her, is an abnormally bulky, gray-skinned hag doing much the same, reciting incantations, and standing only inches above the water of the Adrystian Bay. The Fracken rears its head back, and it sprays a line of black fluid that you guys are all too familiar with across the water. One of the hags reaches out, and she magically ignites it. And soon you can see the pentagram of fiery ink forming in the center of the island's cove. A hag standing at each of the 5 points. But wait, there's one missing. It's only at that point that you guys hear voices off to the side. And you see that there are some figures up on these cliffs not very far from you. What do you guys do?
Oh, crap.
I would definitely not want to approach right away because I see 2 of everything. There's 2 Flowerkrauts. There's 2 Timothys. There's 2 Frackens. There's 2 of everything. And I feel like I feel like I'm gonna throw up a little bit. You guys promise me you won't let me sleep. They told me don't sleep. When you do that fall headbang, ow. Don't sleep. You don't sleep. If you sleep, you don't wake up.
It does seem like these figures are close enough that if you talk too loud, they'd hear you.
Oh, they can definitely hear us.
Can we do a perception check to see if we can, see these figures with a little bit more detail?
Sure. Well, what is your immediate reaction? Because you see out in your peripheral vision, there is definitely a hag standing on top of the cliff.
Oh, crap. Is there a place to hide?
There's rocks and some trees, and then there's also like the ruined remains of that hut that was up here.
Oh, can we go to the hut?
Sure, let's try getting some shelter and maybe some information.
You guys dive over to the hut, and everyone roll a stealth check.
All right. Sherman.
So that's 5.
Okay.
17.
All right.
That is also a 17 plus 3 is a 20.
Excellent. So the way I like to do group checks like this, since you guys are all kind of working together to accomplish something, we kind of take an average. So you guys rolled really well and really low, so you kind of averaged it out a little bit, but actually more so in an above average direction, since both since Flowerkraut and Timothy both rolled really well. So they essentially grab hold of you, Sherman.
He's murmuring.
And get under your arms and lift him up and keep him from clanging around too much in his armor.
Oh,
you guys hide.
You're all so strong. Thank you so much.
Sherman, you got to get yourself together, buddy.
You've got to get yourself together. Yours got 3 heads, buddy.
Come on over here, Sherman. We'll take a lay down.
All right, can I do that perception check now with my bird eyes?
Yes, you absolutely can.
Oh, my bird eyes are a little bit itchy and dry. That's a 13.
So you can see clear enough that there's a hag standing on the edge of this cliff looking kind of down into the bay. She is wearing like a tattered winter cloak, though you can see wispy gray hair billowing out from underneath it. And in her hand is a long gray staff adorned with small bells. Fortunately, she's got her back to all of you as she's staring down into the area where the pentagram is burning on the water's surface. And your eyes jet to the side and you see another figure up here approaching her. It looks to be a tall man wearing jet black plate mail armor. Much taller than her, but though when he closes the distance, he immediately takes a knee and puts his head down. And you hear the hag speak to him.
Ah, Sir Lunox, we are nearly done.
We've kept all the ships away from the island.
And what of the PAL ship?
It is as you foretold. I can confirm your creature attacked the PAL ship once it was marked and set ablaze by the merchant vessel.
Indeed.
Your methods are impressive. I still don't understand how you...
The mind is a feeble thing that can easily be molded. You just need to find the right mind. If that is all, you will take your ship and you will depart.
The man in the black armor stands up and he nods to her.
May she envelop you.
And become your breath.
The man in the plate mail that she identified as being Sir Lunox turns and heads back away from you along the cliff's edge, and you see, as the green lightning is flashing all over this island, that on the north side of this crescent island you see a tall mast of a ship looking to be just docked off of the shore with its sails raised up. The hag herself turns and, looking to be quite spry for her age, hops onto her gray staff and rides it like a witch on a broom down into the Adrystian Bay, where she takes up the 5th position in the pentagram of fire and joins in on the incantation that you keep hearing over and over again. Stardust descends from the heavens above the Adrystia Bay, centered on the island, and in the center of it all, just above the water, an abyss where the stardust falls from the sky and is consumed. And it's only when all 5 of these hags are joined in unison do you, Flowerkraut, strangely enough, understand the Sylvan line. Heart of the sky, sea of tears, the star will die, and she disappears.
Oh.
You look up into the sky, and the 3 of you see the Archipeldian prime star. The star that you know very well, Sherman. The star that is on the harbor gates of Titanios. The prime star, as it begins to fade.
What?
Stardust becomes consumed by the abyss. And as the last of what you see falls from the sky, the 5 hags walk to the center of the bay, or float, or they're carried there by the Fracken. And you see the 5 of them come together, they reach out, and you see a heart, a glowing white heart, and they all, in unison, simultaneously, reach out and consume it. The heart is consumed, and you watch as the hags disperse. One is taken away with the Fracken. One flies away on her staff. One of them simply face steps from existence. You just see her poof. She's gone. Another one dives into the water and swims away. They disappear. The spell, the incantation, the ritual that is encompassing all of Adrystia doesn't seem to be done, as energy is shocking the side of the cliff that you're on. The island seems to be falling apart. The energy here is out of control. There's nothing to hold this spell in place. And for those of you that have any kind of arcane knowledge, you know that there's some kind of infrastructure is needed to hold a spell, especially of this size, in its place, in its form. And pretty soon the cliffs below your feet begin to crumble. You guys feel rocks falling off of this cliff at a rapid rate, and pretty soon cracks along the floor.
Uh-oh.
We need to get off this island.
I agree.
That guy's. Do you think we could, like, hide on that guy's boat or something? Like, I don't. This is all so. It's all happening so fast.
It couldn't be any worse than my last boat trip.
Oh, well, you know, I feel like we've had some bad luck with boats lately, but that might be our safest bet. Or I don't know. Like, does anybody have like a water to spray on this fiery symbol to maybe like break it?
I don't know if that's going to work. It seems too powerful.
Are there any other, because they said that they were keeping ships away from the island, but does that mean that there's no longer any ships that are currently docked at the bay?
There are no ships here except for that one ship that Sir Lunox was walking off to.
May I summon Brandon?
Brandon doesn't seem to be anywhere in the vicinity.
Yeah, too acidic for him. I don't blame him.
Hopefully Brandon has swam on to better places, and if we hope to not have to do the same, we better get on that boat.
All right, let's beat feet.
You guys run out from behind, you know, the ruins of the hut, and the cracks begin to widen. You're jumping between piece of rock, and pretty soon this entire cliff just dissolves underneath you, and the three of you find yourself falling.
Not again.
Yeah.
But then time freezes, and it seems almost like a dream. It doesn't make sense. You look up into the sky and you see that this spell, the column of energy in the center of it, left one mote of stardust still falling from what was the Archipeldian prime star. And you see down in the bay the image of a Triton woman, glowing white, kneeling down in pain. You hear her voice echoing across the water.
My children.
The rippling waters hold still, and the storm above you ceases to swirl. Almost as if you're watching like an action movie and you pause just as the music has grown most intense. Just like boom, everything's silent all of a sudden. The rippling water below appears to, for all intents and purposes, solidified with the halt of time. And she looks up, she sees the three of you standing barely on pieces of earth that are in mid-fall, and she beckons.
Children of Archipeldia, you are needed.
Can we move at all? Like,
Yeah.
should we move toward?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we like floating at her?
You're able to basically hop down this crumbling cliff because it's frozen in time.
All right. Yeah, I've got Sherman kind of over my, or Timothy and I kind of like holding Sherman under, like with each arm.
Oh,
He's
thank
kind
you.
of leaning on each of us.
What's happening? Why is everything so? It's so slow. It's like it's not even happening.
Well, you know, I wish I could say that was just what you're feeling right now, Sherman, but unfortunately it's a shared experience.
Yeah.
Okay.
We approach.
You three get down to the bottom of the cliff and you find that the water is solid footing for you. And you walk out into the island's cove, to the center of of all of this mess, to the middle of this pentagram that seemingly destroyed a star in the sky. And you see her, the Triton woman who founded Archipeldia itself. The prophetess Miriam lays before you. She looks at the three of you, weak and in pain. She sees Sherman, reaches out to you and puts her hand on your chest.
Sherman, Shepherd, what a brave boy you're becoming.
She turns to Timothy. She puts her hand up towards the side of your head and caresses down along your neck.
Timothy Biscuit, you have been heard. Even I have witnessed the bravado in your song.
I'm not gonna cry. Yeah, I am gonna cry. I'm definitely crying right now.
She turns to Flowerkraut, and she reaches out and puts a palm on your face.
Flowerkraut. Oh, my sweet flower. Beautiful inside and out. You have the heart.
She looks at the three of you,
Archipeldia will look to you.
and she pushes her hands forward, and you feel this force jettison you backwards away from her, away from the island, away from the bay, as time resumes, and you see her image fading, the cliffs on both sides of Adrystia disintegrating into the water as you're flying away from her. A purple explosion seals the end of the spell, and with it, a massive tidal wave erupts from the sea like one giant ripple on the Archipeldian map. The three of you, flying away, are still struck by this wall of water, and everything goes black. And just when you think we'd end the episode right there, you wake up. Unexpectedly, you wake up very comfortable. A soft bed below you and the steady sway of a ship rocking you back and forth. You're all three in a small room. The walls and the floor are entirely wooden slats. A chest lays at your feet, the foot of your bed that you're laying in, and you look over to see each other waking up and taking the room all in at the same time. Outside of this room, you hear the pleasant sound of music, conversation, and glasses clinking together.
Did we just dream that?
I
Where are we?
Sherman stretches into a downward dog and says, "I'm sorry, I can't respond to you. I have to do this before I can function in the morning."
It had to have been a dream. We were flying. We were taken over by a tidal wave, and the island is gone. How did... I'm so confused.
Yeah, how did we get off?
Would Sherman, being of a devout nature, know all about Miriam and whatnot?
Yes. All three of you know who Miriam is. Whether you worshipped her or had any kind of history that relates to her, that's up to your character. You guys know that the Archipeldian religion is centered around the prophetess Miriam, though the prophetess Miriam was always about inclusion, so other religions were never shunned in Archipeldia.
Oh yeah, we actually learned all about Miriam at the Foster Academy. So I know a good bit about Miriam, and I'm pretty sure that not everybody gets to do what we just had a divine experience.
Divine intervention, it seems like.
I've been trying to have a divine connection with Tritherian for well, arguably not that long in the grand scheme of things, but I've been trying really hard. This is so amazing. We were chosen for something. I don't know what, but there's a reason that we're on a ship and everyone seems to be having a good time, and I feel like I've slept better than I have in weeks. How are you guys feeling?
So you guys are fully rested, as if you just got done with a long rest. Full health and spell slots are all back to reset. So you guys are sitting there kind of in shock and awe, wondering how you got here. What just happened? Was this a dream? If it was a dream, then how are you still together?
Is it common knowledge that Miriam is kind of like around still and everything? Or like would Flowerkraut maybe think like, oh, she's like, I thought she might be dead or something?
It is common knowledge that she's a deity in terms of her followers look to her to perform the deeds that they do. Like a cleric of Miriam or a paladin of Miriam would use their connection to her. That the church still worships her. I mean, in the world of D&D, deities persist long after if they were immortal, which she was, and you guys do know that she does persist as a god.
Okay.
The door to your room opens, and it's a little startling because this creature walks in. It's like it's got spiky skin. It's kind of hunched over a little bit, and it has one big fucking eye on its head.
Huh?
And it has like towels over its arm, and it looks like it's carrying in some a tray of water, like a pitcher of water. And it goes, "Oh, you're awake. Good."
Yeah, we are.
Hello, good sir.
How did we get here?
Oh, no. You will come with Chitin. Come with Chitin.
Oh, are you leaving? At least, can I have some of that water?
No.
Well, so are you just carrying it around like?
No.
He sets his things down and he ushers you out the door.
It's like, are you sure? Can I? Sherman tries to like at least get one tongue into one of the glasses or the pitcher or something.
He doesn't stop you. You grab like the thing of water and you start lapping at it. And you walk out
That feels
to
so
see
good.
that you're standing on kind of a balcony, overlooking a big oval-shaped tavern. In the center of it is a round bar with bartenders and servers serving people from all angles around this circular top. Around the tavern are chairs, tables. Some look very comfortable, just like lounge chairs. And one end is a massive hearth. And on the other end, which seems to be a little bit more of a pointy end, there is a stage with musicians playing music. You realize that the shape of this tavern and the rock back and forth, you are on a ship. Not any kind of ship, because there's no windows. You can't see outside. You just know we're out at sea right now.
Guys, I think we died and now I'm in heaven.
The creature turns as it's walking away from you. It hasn't stopped walking. You guys are taking in this scene.
Come with Chitin.
Though I wasn't expecting chitin in heaven. That's throwing me a curveball.
Chitin is not what I pictured in the afterlife, but okay.
You guys follow, and there's a set of stairs that leads down from this row of seemingly rooms that you leave behind, and you descend down to the floor of the tavern, where this little goblin with a big blue ponytail sees you coming down, and she jumps up and goes,
Oh, yeah, you're awake. Good.
So we've been told.
Hello.
Come. Name's Rizzy. Come on, over here. Sit down.
She pulls 3 chairs out, and she
Thank
starts
you.
ushering
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, Cotton. Thanks, Cotton. You can go now.
So apparently we're on some sort of itinerary. They're really strict to it.
Sherman sits on the floor immediately.
Normally, I'd have you pick out some drinks, make yourself comfortable, but not for newcomers. Got to go get the barkeep. Barkeep!
If I wasn't
Yeah.
awake before,
All right.
I am now.
What? She leaves you guys with, like, some water.
Man, heaven is so weird.
And you see from behind the bar steps out this tall half-orc, rather hairy, wearing an apron and some spectacles. He's got a glass in his hand and he's cleaning it. And he walks over and he says, Ah, yes. Thank you, Rizzy. Appreciate it.
Anything for boss?
She takes off running. Now. No. Before you say anything, before any of you speaks a word, he points at Timothy.
Choking on my own words.
I must begin by establishing that you must follow the one rule we have in this place. Unless it has to do with a drink order or an item on the menu, we don't ask questions around here.
What?
No. He he shakes his finger at Flowerkraut.
Timothy is visibly shaking.
And you guys can hear Chitin up in the balcony going.
Oh. Well, then, in that case, I sure do wish we knew how we got here, and I wish I knew where here was. What a shame.
Never you fear. This is a safe place. A neutral zone.
Is there a warm bowl of truth on the menu? Because I would love to order it.
Yes, Chitin, it's fine. They understand the rule. Please go back to taking care of the rooms.
I understand the rule, but I don't know if I can respect the rule.
This is a neutral zone for many that need it. A haven, fully equipped with drinks you've never heard before. This is also a place where tales are shared, adventures relived, and otherworldly songs are heard. To the three of you, I welcome you aboard the story arc. And that is where we will end our episode.
What's up, BB Army? Thank you all so much for listening to today's episode of Break, Battle, and Roll. We hope you enjoyed listening as much as we enjoyed making it. If you can't get enough of Break, Battle, and Roll, be sure to follow our Instagram and Twitter, both at Break, Battle, Roll, or swing by and like the Break, Battle, and Roll Facebook page, where you can mingle with us and other members of the BB Army in between episodes. If you want to keep up with our cast, you can find Chad Stafford on his Instagram and Twitter at It's Chit Chad, as well as his YouTube pages Chit Chad and Chit Chad Plays. Aaron Rollins on Twitter is at AARKUMA, that's Arkuma. Janelle Wilkie on Instagram at Janelle.Wilkie, that's JANELLE.WILKE. And me, Dustin. Catch me on twitch.tv/thefinaldestination, Instagram and TikTok as at @the_final_destination, and on Twitter at FINL Destination, because Twitter likes short names. We'd like to give a special thank you to our musicians Ben Holland for creating our absolutely shredding theme song. You can find Ben on SoundCloud, and Rory O'Neill for his phenomenal background compositions. You can find Rory as at Trench Roar Fair on Twitter. Gotta love that pun. We'd also like to give a shout out to what we would call our sister podcast, the Roaring D20s podcast. Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at RD20s podcast. That's RD, the number 2, the number 0, S podcast. Lastly, if you want to support the show, the best way you can help us right now is to spread the word. Do you have a friend who likes D&D or is way into podcasts? Send them our way. On top of that, the great Googly Moogly has told us that ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts will help share our adventures with more listeners. Again, thank you all so much for listening. Now, where was that delicious fish smell coming from? Uh-oh. Later, BB Army. I've got to get Sherman before he gets into Flowerkraut's mortar and pestle bag again. We will see you all in the next episode.